Kelly Ripa often shares details of her family life on Live, which she co-hosts alongside her husband, Mark Consuelos. The couple are doting parents to three grown-up children and are known for their humorous tales about parenthood, both in present day and from when their kids were little. On Friday, August 22nd, Kelly and Mark were discussing their children's baby teeth, and Kelly admitted that she had kept all of her children's teeth from when they were younger. They then reminisced about the tooth fairy and how their oldest son, Michael, now 28, had a knack for benefiting from the financial side of losing his teeth. As the oldest of their children, Michael was the first to experience the tooth fairy and soon realized the benefits. Do you remember when Michael realized he was getting money? He lost like 4 or 5 teeth in a week. Mark began. Yes, I believe he was just extracting teeth. Because Michael's the first grandchild, the first kid to grow teeth, the first kid to lose teeth, Kelly said. She then let out a huge sigh as the audience laughed. Along with Michael, Kelly and Mark are also parents to 24-year-old Lola and 22-year-old Joaquin. The couple raised their children in New York City, and while their kids have now all left the nest, they often come back to visit. Michael lives the closest to his parents in Bushwick, Brooklyn. The other two are a little further afield, with Lola living between London and NYC, and Joaquin is based in Michigan, having graduated from college there earlier this year. All three of the couple's children have followed in their footsteps in the entertainment industry. Michael is an actor, while Lola is a singer. Joaquin has also decided to follow suit with hopes for a career in theater. He took part in a number of school productions while at the University of Michigan, and previously revealed in his college magazine that he was inspired by taking it up as a profession after auditioning for some roles in his brother's absence. Just last month in July, Kelly and Mark appeared on Late Night with Seth Meyers, where they opened up about their children. They were asked whether any of them watched Live, to which they both responded, "No." Kelly then went on to say, "Our youngest is 22, and we asked him to come here tonight because he was visiting us. He lives in Michigan, and he was visiting us. And I said, 'Do you want to come see Seth tonight?' And he goes, 'No, no, no, I'll watch it on the show when it airs,'" she recalled. And I go, "Oh, you're going to watch?" And he goes, "Well, I watch Seth," she continued. "So he's like, 'I'm not watching for you. I'm just naturally watching Seth.'" Have you ever known a kid who was just a little too smart for their own good? A kid who figured out the system and knew exactly how to work it to their advantage? Well, what if I told you that one of Hollywood's most famous families had a budding young entrepreneur living under their own roof? And his business, let's just say it had a lot of bite. We're talking about Kelly Ripa's oldest son, Michael Consuelos. You've seen him grow up in the public eye, but what you probably haven't heard is the hilarious story of how his childhood hustle had his parents laughing and shaking their heads. It's a tale that involves the tooth fairy, a sudden and suspicious loss of teeth, and a little boy who was clearly ahead of his time. So, if you've ever wondered what it's like to raise a future CEO, stick around, because this story is priceless. To really understand this story, you have to get a picture of the Consuelos Ripa household. For decades, Kelly Ripa has been a staple of morning television, sharing her life with millions. Alongside her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, she's created a brand of relatable and humorous parenting. They have 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, and through the years, we've heard countless stories about their lives. Michael, being the oldest, was the first to experience, well, everything. He was the test subject for his parents' burgeoning parenting skills. As many parents know, the first child is the one you learn on. From first steps to first words, every milestone is monumental. And for Michael, one of these early milestones came with a surprising financial incentive. This brings us to the legend of the Tooth Fairy in the Ripa Consuelos home. Now, the Tooth Fairy is a magical part of childhood for many. The excitement of losing a tooth, placing it under your pillow, and waking up to find a small reward is a cherished memory. For young Michael Consuelos, it was more than just magic. It was a business opportunity. Kelly and Mark have fondly reminisced about how their eldest son quickly caught on to the lucrative nature of losing his baby teeth. So, here's where our story really takes a turn. As Kelly and Mark have shared, Michael, being the first grandchild and the first of their children to start losing teeth, was showered with attention and, you guessed it, money from the Tooth Fairy. It didn't take long for him to connect the dots. A lost tooth equaled a cash prize. The way Kelly Ripa's son saw it, this was a simple case of supply and demand. And he was ready to increase the supply. Dramatically. His parents noticed a sudden, almost alarming, uptick in the number of teeth he was losing. One week, it seemed like he had lost 4 or 5 teeth. Now, for any parent, that might be a cause for concern. But for Kelly and Mark, it was a source of great amusement. They started to joke that he wasn't just losing teeth, he was extracting them. They pictured their young son, not as a victim of a loose tooth, but as a determined little businessman, wiggling and pulling at any tooth that showed the slightest hint of being ready to come out. The image of a small child methodically working to expedite the tooth-losing process for financial gain is both hilarious and a testament to his cleverness. This wasn't just a one-time thing. It became a running joke in their family. The Tooth Fairy in their house was working overtime, and Michael was cashing in. It's a perfect example of how kids can be so literal and so ingenious at the same time. He saw an opportunity, and he took it, much to the entertainment of his famous parents. Now, while this story is incredibly funny, it also gives us a little glimpse into the personality of Michael Consuelos. He's not just the kid who tried to game the Tooth Fairy system. He's grown up to be an actor and producer in his own right, carving his own path in the entertainment industry. He even played a younger version of his dad's character on the show Riverdale. The anecdote about the Michael Consuelos teeth situation is more than just a funny family memory. It's a story about a kid with a go-getter attitude. And while his methods may have been a bit unorthodox, you have to admire his entrepreneurial spirit. It's a trait that has likely served him well as he navigates the competitive world of Hollywood. Kelly has spoken about the challenges Michael faced after graduating from college during the pandemic, with a job offer evaporating due to the shutdown. But just like that little boy who saw a way to make things happen, he persevered and has continued to build his career. So, the next time you hear about Kelly Ripa's son, Michael Consuelos, you'll know the story behind why his parents joke about him pulling his own teeth out. It wasn't out of distress or frustration, but out of a clever and comical childhood scheme to make a little extra cash from the Tooth Fairy. It's a story that reminds us that behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, there are still the universal and often hilarious moments of family life that we can all relate to. It's a testament to Kelly and Mark's open and humorous parenting style that they share these stories with the world. It's what has made them so beloved for so many years. They remind us that it's okay to laugh at the absurdities of raising kids and to celebrate their unique and sometimes mischievous personalities. What do you think? Do you have any funny stories about the Tooth Fairy from your childhood? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more surprising celebrity family stories. We've got plenty more to share, and you won't want to miss them. Thanks for watching.